As we have studied so far, with the 1857 rebellion, there was a strong feeling of nationalism that started, and this nationalist movement started in three different phases. So the first phase was the phase of early nationalists, which were the moderates, and there was formation of Indian National Congress 1885 by A.O. Hume. Later on, we saw that there was a split between the Congress itself and radicalists, or those were called as assertives, separated out, and these were actually the extremists or the revolutionaries. However, we don't use the word extremist or revolutionary for them, but yes, that was a separate segment, the radicals who established themselves. Now came the national movement during the First World War. So what happened during the First World War, which started from 1914 to 1919? There were two major powers which established the world. These were the Allied powers and the Central powers. The Central powers were the ones, those established in the center. So Germany, Austria, Hungary and Turkey were the main powers. Hungary and Turkey were the main powers of Central powers. Allied powers, on the other hand, were Britain, France, Italy and Russia. These powers came together. Now, the Britishers or the imperialist powers, the only objective at that time was to expand empire and obtain as many colonies as possible, and this would be one of the ways to sustain their industrial revolution. Now, considering this, they actually took the soldiers from India and other colonies to fight for the World War. Now, when the soldiers were taken from India to fight for the First World War, this itself was seen with two perspectives separately by moderates and radicals. Radicals said that they are taking Indian soldiers as fodder for their war, and they just want to satisfy their own needs of developing colonial powers, and we are not able to understand their selfish motives. However, moderates on the other hand followed a conciliatory policy, and they said that if they are taking our soldiers, that is fine, but after the war is over, they would grant us independence, and they were unable to understand that this was not the real picture. As a result, the feeling of nationalism among the people grew further strong, and there was the start of Home Rule League. Now, Home Rule League established itself in 1916, and it established itself in two separate branches, one under Tilak, the other under Annie Besant. Both of them came into existence in 1916 and separately. So Annie Besant was an Irish lady who established herself in India in 1893 and was inspired by the ideas of home rule which started in Ireland. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, on the other hand, were trying to unite people and raise their voices in the newspapers of Kesari and Maratha, and to help people join with the idea of home rule, that is self-government. Now, this idea of home rule popped separately in the two places. In the regions of Adyar near Chennai, where Annie Besant was leading it, Annie Besant along with S. Subramaniam Iyer became the major center of it. And it was interesting to note that people always said that Annie Besant, in words of Annie Besant, it was said that people who follow me dislike Tilak, and people who follow Tilak, some of them dislike me. However, we mutually never had a quarrel among them ourselves. That means both of these had a common ideology of home rule. However, the followers of Tilak as well as the followers of Annie Besant were not in line with the ideologies of each other. However, this home rule movement was a kind of pacifying movement, because the people were considerate that Britishers are already facing a huge blow during the World War, and it's not a good idea to stand up revolutionary and put a more burden on them. So this was a kind of silent movement that started. Similarly, it was not just the Home Rule League. Later on, Ghadar Party was established, and Ghadar Party in America had its equal voice in India as well. Similarly, in 1918, British announced concessions, constitutional concessions under the Montague-Chelmsford reforms, and these were implemented finally as Government of India Act 1919. So again, this was a very important act. So there was a strengthening demand for Swaraj. The war loans at that time were increasing. There were higher taxes, custom duties were raised, and more importantly, one of the taxes was introduced which never existed so far, and this was the introduction of income tax that took place. Also, the expenditure on defense was increasing. Now, all this increasing expenditure, where was it coming from? It was coming from the poor people. The poor people, the farmers, the peasants of India were the ones from whom the money was drained, and even the army was drained, because these farmers were the ones who were supplying the soldiers and were getting forced to recruit themselves in the rural areas, and this created resentment and anger among the local people. Not only this, there was again a series of episodes that happened. For example, in 1913 to 1919, there was increase in the price of commodities, especially the food prices, and this actually doubled during that period, which was a heavy blow to the common people of India, and this led to widespread agitations as well. Similarly, 1918 and 1919 and 1920-21 were the two periods where crop failure were predominantly seen in most parts of the country, and this led to acute food shortage in India. Also, this was accompanied by an epidemic influenza that spread, and this again hampered the growth and the development in the region. Further, it agitated the people to raise voice against the British people. Also, if we talk about the 1921 census that happened in India, it was believed that nearly 12 to 13 million people just perished away because of the epidemic that spread. So you can understand the extent and the widespread nature of the epidemic that happened. Now, this time we would understand three important things that happened during this period. One was Lucknow Pact. The second was the Muslim League, the Home Rule League, Muslim League we have already covered in the last lecture. So Lucknow Pact, Home Rule League, and finally the